Hey guys, Toaster back. You'll notice we are on Malinovka, and I've got vents, vert stabs, and a rammer, and I'm running food, and that gets me almost to total view range on my T54 Mod 1, which I am trying to pre-mark. And spoiler alert, this game brings me up at least 3%. It's a good game, but it's kind of slow and rather long. But it's Malinovka, so, you know, in Malinovka, a lot of times you can get decent games. And there are two lights on the enemy team, on both teams. Both of our lights are in the same bush area. Now, I like to go this way because it opens me up to this bush over here and right there. And if I get spotted, I know that there's somebody in there, but I did not get spotted. But we do pick up a barrage that is, I guess I need to set it in first person view again. Now, I get a shot for free on that guy, which is great. And that guy, here's a blast. And those two guys, I can pen anywhere, right? So, no worries for me. It's works out really good. And then there's the enemy Blaskin. The other Blask. So both of their lights went into the same position as well. It's just an odd thing. So, old man aiming, I guess, but missed a shot on the Brask. But we're going to hit a few shots on this guy, So one thing I notice is, like, a lot of times, yep, there he goes. So people will try and get up into this bush line, but you cannot do that early game because, especially in a brass, with me here, I can always proxy spot him. So unfortunately, our light tank just goes ham and ends up dying. So it's very unfortunate. But spoiler, that shot does not go in. But we're just trying to be a pest here, right? There's only one Artie, and I don't know, maybe he's busy on the hill. I don't know what he's doing. So, but this location is super good for this tank because it's low slung enough that people cannot shoot it from the other side, from their spawn or from the other knoll on the other side. So it also does not allow anybody to get up in these bushes, right? So we are kind of losing the hill, but I am trying to stay here as long as I can. Absolutely as long as I can, right? And we're going to continue to proxy spot these guys and keep these guys lit. Because really, there's not much else we can do at this point. And yeah, we're having a pretty good game. So, unfortunately, our IS-6 is about to go down, and we have a Super Pershing on the hill. I don't have high hopes that we're going to win the hill. And staying here after the hill is lost is a bad idea because I can get free shots on you, right? But I'm kind of just hoping that these, as I take a shot of damage, I'm kind of hoping that these guys continue to poke, and the Barask does poke, and so we're able to get a nice shot on him. The Zwilling is deciding to push forward, which I believe is not the greatest idea, but we're willing to take his HP if that's possible. So we're down about, 1,000 hit points, give or take. And so now 2,000 hit points maybe, right? But anyway, it's basically time to leave because I can't continue to be proxied and be shot at by this 703, right? So if you notice that Mutz has been there in the background for quite some time, he is basically going to be a great teammate. So I told him that I was going to show this on YouTube, and Campbell, that's his name. Shout out to him. He plays very well, and there's a point in the battle where he makes a play that really makes a lot of sense and is something a better player would do. It gives me the confidence that he's going to help us, right? And that kill right there by Campbell is very critical. If that guy gets into the low ground with that 703-2, we are in deep trouble. Now, keep in mind, I am not spotted at this point. So, however, there's an enemy T-803, and I don't know what he's doing, but I'm more than willing to shoot him in the lower plate. So, and we unfortunately miss our second shot. But, again, we're in a position that is very defensible. So we are still behind, although we've kind of caught up on hit points, as far as we know. Of course, we don't know what the hit points are of our campers in base. So that Zwilling is still somewhere around that middle. So what I'm doing is I'm knocking this bush down in an effort to see if I can see him. Unfortunately, I cannot. But we are up to like 3,500 combined, which is pretty great. We're happy with that. And fortunately, this Zwilling turret does not get out far enough for him to spot me. So it looks like that T-832 kind of left. And I haven't seen the STA that was also on the hill. So he may be low health. He is low health, you can tell. So he probably left. But the Blesk, both Blesks made kind of a, I would say, a poor move in where they went in trying to take that knoll from us at the very beginning of the game. It can work, but you need something with a little armor, or you definitely need some overwatch. And they kind of had neither. So in a light tank, it's such a good map. It is not worth going to a location that, as we're checking to see if we get spotted here, it's not worth going to a location necessarily that that you might get nailed from because you have no overwatch. Now we pick up that T-803, and I'm pretty sure, or 832, pardon me, I'm pretty sure that the Mutz is the guy that hit him. He's the only one in a good position to hit him. So that takes this guy down to a one shot, and we're just absolutely happy to go up the hill at this point and fight this guy. Well, he's not a one shot for me because I only have 240 or 250 alpha. And we're able to get a nice shot into his side. Now I'm worried about that Zwilling. So I really do not want to push over and stay over. See, I'm kind of turning towards where I would guess the Zwilling is. And when we push forward, we avoid the arty, and we also avoid the T-832, or kill the T-832. So there's the Zwilling, exactly where I left him. And now there's a Roomba out there. So 6 minutes left. And what are we going to do with that 6 minutes? So unfortunately, our Barask kind of pushes into the open, where he's open to the Zwilling and also the Charioteer and maybe the Roomba. I don't know. But I'm just trying to keep all these guys spotted because we finally do take down the Zwilling. But just trying to keep these guys spotted is my only concern, because we have arty, they have arty as well, but a Roomba is an easy target. And unfortunately, we are unable to spot him because the Roomba is a very stealthy tank. So, and we don't have superior view range. Our view range is okay. So it looks like just me and the mutts here on this side, and we've got to figure out how to win this game because there's 5 minutes left, right? And so the mutts is going to make a play to the middle of the map, and that is a good play because he can spot anybody that's up on that knoll if they're firing, and also anybody... it will tell him where guys are at if he gets lit. And so I'm waiting to see if he spots anything. He unfortunately does not. But it's an excellent play. It's a play that lets me know he knows what he's doing. And so at this point, we realize that there's 4 minutes left and we got to make a play. So unfortunately, the Forest of Doom, I just have to take a chance that nobody's there. And so when we do that, we make sure that we do not go right away. We wait until we see if we're spotted or not, and because we're not spotted, we can drop down here. And the hope is that we stay low enough. The Roomba's the guy I'm really afraid of. The Charioteer as well, a little bit, but the Roomba is the guy I'm really afraid of. Because if he has 750 alpha gun, that's like 2/3 of my health. Now notice I'm trying to stay behind the bushes in case there is somebody on that knoll, and there indeed is. So we're able to get a nice HE shot on him. And we're still spotting him, just trying to keep him lit. And we unfortunately hit his gun, but we do get the assist for it. Now notice there's 3 minutes left. We got to start making plays. Now the next step to take, if you're in the middle and you're sure there's nothing here, is to come up and get in these bushes. And oftentimes you will spot guys that are camping out here, guys that are camping in the base, that kind of thing. But in this case, and that's exactly what he does. So I see him doing that, and I want to take another angle, right? I do not want to stay on the same angle that he is, because I would really like to take out anybody else that's maybe in the base. Or oftentimes people will camp in this pond down here. I guess I can make my map bigger. But yeah. And so what I'm doing is trying to see if anybody is on that knoll over to the left there. And there is not. We do see the arty, but I'm not willing to fire at this point. Well, we'll see the tracer. I'm not willing to blind fire at this point because I need to figure out where the enemies are. There's still a Charioteer and STA as we spot the Charioteer. But there's a Charioteer, there's an STA, and there's also that WZ-120 FT as our arty hits the enemy and I get hit by their arty. So there's the STA. We unfortunately missed this shot, but the Panzer Mutts, he's got plenty of health, and he takes them out. So that's working out good. We know that the arty is pretty much directly in front of us. In fact, we just see him fire, and so we're going to go ahead and give a shot to the Panzer Mutts. I don't know. I just happened to miss, but fortunately we get that shot, and that takes us up to 2 kills. And it looks like we're going to have a side shot on the WZ-120, and we get that, and that is the end of the game. So there's a nice carry, 3,100 damage and 2,900 assist. Let's look at the after action and see if that's all we got. Okay, here we are at the after action after my little snafu and trying to end the recording. That's what you get on this channel. Ace Tanker We had a Confederate for hitting at least 6 other enemy players that we did not kill. And we also got a patrol duty, which is unusual when you don't have full view range. But regardless, we're able to take that guy out, take a bunch of guys out, and also do a lot of damage to enemies. So we were not even first. The Panzer Mutz was at 4,400 damage and 5 kills. He said he only got a first class out of this, probably because I was doing most of the spotting for him. Windhun beat us, and then everybody else on the enemy team were just did kind of average damage. So we were first by experience. 1,479 in this thing is really high. And so let's look at the detailed report and see why. We did 24 shots, 18 hits, 14 pens. Not unusual in this thing. It doesn't have great pen or a great gun. 3,100 damage, 1,350 blocked, and 3,307 in assists. So we got some blind assists there, taking us up to 6,500 in combined action. So that is a really good game for this thing. I think you need 2,500 to 3 mark it. So that's why it took us up like 3%. So 89,000 credits when it's all said and done, and we got our 2440 experience. I've had a premium account for a long time because of some of the things that were going on, and they gave us a bunch of bonds and credits, and I don't remember what patch it was, but I still have premium time. So appreciate you guys watching. Hope to catch you next time. Toaster out.